Hello everyone, this is Riccardo Masini and this is vlog. So, in this vlog we are going to speak about Malta besieged, or Malta as you say. We say Malta. Malta besieged. Well, this is a game about the Mediterranean theater of World War II, and yes, being an Italian, you might understand that this is a very important topic for me, because hey, we have Reggio Aeronautica, Regia Marina, Reggio Esercito, and they're not so good. I know, but they are not so bad either. This is a States of Siege game, so central point Malta, or Malta if you prefer, and you are the British and you are defending Malta against its many enemies for the Commonwealth, for the British Empire. And the enemies are, we say, oh, the evil Italians, and yeah, here we are once again, and the German when they come, because one thing is dealing with Reggio Esercito, another thing is dealing with Africa Korps. Two things totally different. This is a States of Siege game, so I'm not going to explain the mechanics, because there will be other great videos about that, but all of us know how a States of Siege game works. So you have these fronts that, based on the cards, they tend to arrive here at Malta, at the central point you are going to defend. In this game you have also this, that is a parallel line. This is the desert war situation. You have the Reggio Esercito, and after that the Africa Korps, when it comes with a special card, trying to get to Egypt, to Alexandria and Cairo. And you have got fortresses, you have got a logistical situation, and you've got many other details that the raid action to worsen the logistical situation for the Africa Korps. And this line is essentially how you win or lose the game, because you are trying to defend Malta, but you are also trying to push back Rommel, as historical happened, into Tunisia, and not having him enter Egypt. You know, Tobruk here. Essentially, this is how you don't lose the game, and this is how you win it or you lose it immediately. So, lots of different things to do, and this is also a very diverse game in its phases, because you also have convoys. Here they are. Sometime card comes and there is a convoy incoming, and you will have to defend the convoy and to get the supply, and maybe also bonus actions and other stuff. But after that, as I said, I'm not going to delve too deep into the mechanics, because they're fairly standard States of Siege. This is a simple, also because this is one of the simple States of Siege games. States of Siege games, in my opinion, there are two different groups of States of Siege games. One is the group of complex States of Siege games, like Cruel Necessity, about the English Civil War, Empires in America, about the French Indian War, The Lost Cause, about the American Civil War. They have also tactical element, political aspect, different things to manage. But there are also the simple States of Siege games. The first ones, mostly Israeli independence, Malta besieged here. Maybe I'd think Levée en Masse, about the French Revolution, and they have less stuff to do, but they are more focused and let you focus more on the historical situation. And this is good. This is one of the greatest, but Soviet Dawn, for me, it's just straight in the middle. This is a very balanced, simple States of Siege game, because there is already also a lot of stuff to do during the game, but it is highly manageable and lets you focus on the historical situation. The historical situation is explained greatly, perfect way. Every card has its own historical text. It is highly influential influential. It really respects the events, and you have to manage the strategic situation, the resources, logistics, your logistics or Rommel's logistics, and you are attacking Rommel's logistics. Logistic is everything in this game, as it should be in a game about Malta. Lots of stuff happening, so many aspects. Maybe just one rule or one counter, okay, not so I'd say not so complex, not so many detailed decisions to make, but one decision, for example, do I use ultra? Yes, no, for what? To protect my convoy or to have an insight on the next card? Do I use Cunningham and Royal Navy to avoid one front coming down, advancing? Just one decision. Maybe other games would have given you 10 decisions for that single event, 4 or 5 phases, and for that single procedure. You adjust one. Should I do this or should I don't? Much easier to manage. Some abstractions here and there, no doubt about that, but for me a very good balance and a very good involvement. This is a game highly dramatic. You have got difficult choices to do, priorities, and you're always making decisions, constant difficult decisions, even if in a simple way, not so detailed point after point, but a general decision about the general aspect, and this is highly influential. It has a very high impact. Also, the game has a very good progression because you have 3 decks, but each deck adds a piece. So after I'd say 1/4 of the game comes the Africa Korps, and there is another set of rules incoming. Other fronts are added, and so things become more complicated. It has a very good dramatic arc, narrative arc. In the first deck, essentially you are dealing with Italians, so yes, it is not so impossible, so it's quite easy, but then come the German. And the second deck is a nightmare, and you have to survive it. Third deck, okay, it is better, yeah, fantastic, but you are running against time to push Rommel out of Africa, to win, not just to have a draw. So it is a very good narrative arc in a game that is not so difficult to win. It is not impossible to win, but it is quite hard to win. It is hard to win it well, to have at least the historical result, that is survival the cards with Rommel out of Africa, out of the Africa track back in Tunisia. Really good experience, good gameplay. It is easy to set up, it is not so long, you will end it in one session, no problem, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half maximum. This is not one of those solitaires that you have to lay on the table like I'd say RAF or Peloponnesian War, the campaign scenario. They are great, those are great solitaires, but you have to leave it on the table, and not all of us can do that. These you are going to start and finish it in one session, no doubt, and it will be a highly dramatic session, highly involving session. Lots of emotions, lots of emotional impact. It will be constantly running. Okay, I have when you draw a card with a convoy, you hear the sirens screaming, "Oh, convoy incoming!" And then the Axis fronts will try to make hits. You will try to defend it because you desperately need those 2 supplies to carry on. And lots of changes of rhythm, lots of fun. This is nothing else but fun, and lots of historical content giving you that fun. You have also some optional rules to add more details or to manage the difficulty level of the game. There is also an option to draw the cards in historical order. So there is to increase the historical, I will say accuracy, no, I will say plausibility of the game. And however, it is a nice solitaire. Oh, about the components, very good graphic. Everything is on its place. I'd say some uncertainties here is not clear that the fortress in Tobruk, no, this is space 4, there's not fortress, you have to build it as it is in Gibraltar. Okay, some small details here and there, but the charts, the player charts are great on the maps, right where they should be, and the resources are very easy to manage. You have these big modifier disks that you put everywhere or on these special spaces. Great, this great interface, great. It is very easy to play this game also from a physical standpoint, and this is not as its interface, and this is not. This is something that sometimes in the war games is overlooked. Not here. This is good, and also a very good graphic, very readable. What are the problems of this game? The issues that I found? Well, just coming back to the game components. Many have noticed bad things about the quality of the components. The cards, they are bent, they are not straight. Great graphic material. The map here is some very too precise cut, too drastic cut, so it will peel off a bit. Too bad. Such a nice, beautiful mounted map. Cunningham. I love it. Cunningham available. You will say that on the back of the counters there is Cunningham not available. Cunningham not what available is missing. Small stuff, okay, but why? Really, yeah, it annoys me because such a great interface, such a great graphics, and these little things that a bit diminish it. Too bad. The rules are well written. Say there is some ambiguities in some points. Tobruk, use of ultra, the intelligence. Okay, not bad. What really find it a bit hard to follow was the structure of the rules. The different sections for me are not so well organized. You have a point that should be in one page and it is in another. For example, the fortification rules doesn't follow the turn structure. The rulebook doesn't follow the turn structure, and it is easy to have a rulebook written in turn structure when you're dealing with a solitaire. But the fortification rules are in another place. Why did they put them here and not there where they should be when I use them? Okay, the actions. It is not badly written, but it is a weird structure. That is. We have said that coming to the game itself, you said it is a simple States of Siege. Yes, and as a simple States of Siege title, some might find it a bit repetitive, not so rich, not so replayable, with not so much stuff to do. So we don't have more things to do. For example, I like it because I like the simple States of Siege. I also like the complex States of Siege games. I'd say I like how with this simplicity you are straight into the historical situation. But for some this might be a bit too simple. This is up to your taste. But it is also highly diversified. There is the convoy mini game, I would say, but okay. It's better if you understand what we are dealing with. And some might say that with all this simplicity, this is just a bunch of push or luck games with counters, small counters moving up and down this line and dice rolling. It is all random. Some would say that not me, because you have to build modifiers, build rerolls, bonus actions, and there is much more under before a single die roll. But once again, be warned about what type of game we are speaking about here. So this is this type of States of Siege games. In conclusion, I'd say, well, a friend of mine, Marco Mengoli, has a podcast in Italian where he's a history teacher and he constantly teaches history by playing a game. His podcast is called his nick is Il Non Wargamer, the Not Wargamer, sorry. And his podcast is Aspettando il Giannizzero Nero, which is linked to the podcast by Mano Faina. But anyway, he has done it with the not yet Peloponnesian War, but 300, Heart of Water, and Field Commander Alexander, and he showed in many episodes he followed Alexander's expeditions, Alexander the Great. His podcast is very interesting, and if I had time, I will gladly make a podcast about this, about the Mediterranean War and Mediterranean theater of World War II by using this game. It will be possible. It will be absolutely possible. Too bad I don't have the time. Maybe I will find some other way. But this is how high the educational, the historical value of this game is. You can really recreate the entire Mediterranean War with this game, card by card. And also it gets, okay, it is not merciful with us Italians. I'd said in many places, in many aspects, we deserve it. This game is, well, I'd say the real book is correct with Italians, because it says that they fought with honor, with valor, but it also shows the many deficiencies of Italian logistics and strategical doctrine and cooperation between the different specializations of the armed forces. And when the Germans come, wow, it is bad, it is very bad, and you will feel it. You will feel it here, isolated with enemies everywhere. It is highly dramatic. For me, this is a very correct historical representation of the war, because yes, the Italians can be dangerous, but when the Germans come, everything becomes terribly dangerous, as it should be. Logistics is important, is very important, is crucial. Fortresses, the different aspects, intelligence, and also events from other parts of World War II, everything is here, and it shows how this was absolutely not a secondary theater of World War II, but a highly interconnected theater of World War II. Sometimes it is overlooked, but it's very important, and this game really does it justice. I like it very, very, absolutely very, very much, and I like the initiative by Worthington to republish these great titles that were published by Victory Point Games. And I'm really sorry that Victory Point Games is no longer active in the wargaming hobby, in the wargaming sector of the gaming hobby, but thanks to Worthington we have these gems republished in very effective graphical versions, very nice, very good, and they are finally available to the great public. So even with all its small deficiencies in in material quality, components are good, but it's material sometimes here and there in practical production, but well, even with all these issues, they really don't matter so much. For me, this is a game to have. It's a very nice solitaire, lots of historical detail, lots of involvement, and highly playable and replayable many times. I love this game, highly diverse in its inside, because you have classical standard states of siege stuff, and then you have the convoy minigame, and then you have another line here to manage lots of stuff happening. So great game, and it really shows how diverse is the States of Siege series. Thanks to Worthington, thanks to Victory Point Games, thanks to everyone who is involved in this game, and I want to really give a shout out to Steve Carey for having made this great game. Absolutely a good product, a good title. This was Malta Besieged, and this is all. As always, have a nice day. See you on the next time, and as always, don't be scared. It's just war games. Yeah, there are the Italians. The Italians are coming. The Italians are coming. Not so fast, I'd say. Well, anyway, that's it. Ciao.